for the next session on the topic Innovation and Learning by Mr. Amrit Juneja. Our resource person, Mr. Amrit Juneja, an alumnus from IIM Bangalore, is a business strategist and entrepreneur. He is founder of Delhi Health Secrets Company and also expanded his family business around from 2 to 50 plus products. Besides this, he is also a motivational speaker and going to deliver his talk on the topic innovation and learning. So I welcome you, Mr. Amrit Juneja, and request you to share your views on this topic. Over to you, sir.
Hello, everyone. I am Amrit Juneja. First of all, thank you everybody for inviting me and giving me such a great platform to share my views. But before everything, let's you can I think see my screen. So I need you all to put your cameras on because I really like the interaction. And second of all, I really want you guys to open up your Twitter accounts. If you don't have a Twitter account, please, I urge you to make a Twitter account right away because we'll not be communicating from the chat bot of Zoom app. We'll be communicating through Twitter. So please take 2 minutes and open up all your cameras and Twitter accounts. Until the time who's have opened the Twitter account, and please, if somebody can just share the summary of the last session by Mr. Zaid Alsgoff. So I think I missed good points there. Anyone who's interested?
Sir, is this you? This one?
Yeah, but we'll be sharing and we'll be talking through the hashtag KMC. So you don't need to put my name in. So whatever chats and whatever replies and you want to add on, so you have to just tweet with the hashtag KMC. So again, if anybody is willing to summarize last session, so I would love to know.
May I request Farah Khan, ma'am, could you speak? Can you unmute and on your camera? Farah Khan, madam, can you reply? Can you reflect on what we discussed in last class?
Yes, sir. So in last class, we sir taught us like how to teach with pictures. So it was all about that, and we learned about doodle. He talked about like things like sketchbook is there. Then there are different like. Just a minute, huh? I have noted it down.
Yeah, sure.
Like, yes, he talked about quick draw, he talked about sketchbook, then he talked about there is a Professor Salman Khan from Khan Academy. He's the best teacher and he uses a drawing board. And he also talked about Scamper tool. And then we discussed about how to draw. Like first you need to think about the content, then about the layout, then different levels, how to draw and how to teach concepts. Then there were exercises, like he just asked us to think about a concept we want to teach in our class. And say, for example, I want to teach motivation. So I have drawn two people, one below the staircase and one above the staircase. This is how, motivation could be depicted in a picture. So again, he talked about alphabets. So there are different alphabets which could be used. Shapes could be used for drawing figures and things like that. So this was all about it.
Very nice, very nice. So I can still see there are some members who haven't turned their camera on. I request you all to please turn your cameras on.
So can I speak something about session 2?
Yes, sir, till the time, like, yeah, definitely.
Okay, sir, it was a session addressed by Sir Zayed Alasgaw from Malaysia. And what he emphasized in the session was the visualization and then the importance of visual notes in teaching and for students. Initially, he started with the basic techniques like basic shapes, like basic lines. That how we, if we are if we are a layman, or you can say beginner, then how we can begin with the visualization and drawing the basic shapes and basic things. Later on, he moved in the next session with the tools like sketchbook and other things, And then he also made all of us introduced about the Padlet, which he's dealing with that. And then in the last session with some exercises, he tried to develop some sort of skills in us, like drawing shapes, like robots and other things. So it was a over and all quite a skill enhancement session, which made all of us to think about the visualization, to visualize the things more and more, and to adopt that particular thing, or you can say skill, in our teaching and then for the students, sir.
Amazing, amazing. I think everybody is now on Twitter, right? I think it is fine if we use KMC as a whole, Kirodimal College, or I think Mr. Sultan have suggested we use KMC ATAL. So I like everyone's opinion, right? If we are in line. All right. So I think everybody is fine with if you use KMC or not. All right. So quick introduction. Hello, everyone. I am Amrit Juneja and I am Bangalore alumni. So if
let me try to explain you how it is, how
somebody is talking, right?
to interpret, then we are aware of how
Nidhi Yadav, please mute your mic.
Okay, I thought somebody's speaking. All right. So I am Bangalore's alumni. So we have a family business of dairy products in East Delhi. So I joined when my father expired. So we had these two products, but I had this thing to expand. So after 5 years and endless struggle, so I get it up to 52 products. So today I am going to be taking your session of innovation and learning. So random thought, innovation, it's very common used word, and learning, it's very common. So I want everyone's opinion. So what is innovation for you? Like you can just share normal innovation and anything related to your life. Like if somebody don't have cream in Shahi Paneer and they have added milk instead of that, that's innovation. As simple as that.
New technology.
Yeah, just if you can just tweet me on hashtag KMC, that'll be wonderful. So why I'm doing it, you will be able to get to know after the session. So I am taking everything on Twitter with hashtag KMC.
Sir, innovation is the invention plus commercialization.
That's pretty textbook, right? So I want in layman's language, like if you want to explain a fifth standard person or
Breakthrough?
what is innovation? What will be? Like, I just, if you can just please tweet me on hashtag KMC, I'm just waiting for everybody. Normal, what is definition of hashtag KMC in layman language, and a normal innovation which you have done in your life, like anything. Please tweet me, not on this chat box, with hashtag KMC. And I'm really surprised that the Kirodimal College still doesn't have a Twitter account, right? So all right. So Dr. A. Sultan has said, innovation is a step ahead from normal. So can you please tell me a normal example, how it's a step ahead from normal? All right. Varun Malik says hello. Hi. So I think people are not tuned in on Twitter or taking some time. So I'll repeat my question. So in layman's language, what is your take on innovation? Because I don't want this session to be one way. So I really like to have inputs from everybody, and you guys are faculty. So I just want to take your take. Okay.
Innovation is anything new which can be marginal and also can be truly to the next end of the continuum, being absolutely breakthrough innovation. So marginally new to being maximally new is innovation, according to me.
Amazing. But do you think a fifth standard student will be able to understand this? I want layman, complete layman.
Sir, reducing cost, sir.
Sorry?
Reducing cost.
Can you
Doing
elaborate?
things in your own way with your own imagination, not by what somebody else is telling you. Do the
Sir,
things in your own way, create the way.
as per my opinion, innovation is leading to easy and simple life of human being.
Reducing efforts.
For example, just give me random examples, guys. Those are amazing. Just normal examples. A fifth standard student should understand that. Says mobile phone is normal, smartphone is innovation. Like this. This is nice.
Computer is an innovation. We can say.
Improvisation of the basic idea.
Computer is innovation. Robot is innovation.
Robot
Sir,
is an invention or an innovation?
The toys that speak,
Moving
that's
from
the part of
offline
innovation.
to an online,
But
that is
makes
an
it
innovation.
smile.
the
Is-
child who make the cricket stumps with a simple
water purification bottles which are available in every village for 5 rupees.
Amazing,
I
amazing,
can-
amazing example. By Manu. I cannot see you, Manu KS. Can you please
Mr.
switch on
Amrit,
your camera?
Innovation could be one is that implementation of creative idea to productive use.
So innovation is basically making life easier by
That's
very
what an entrepreneur does.
very simple solution. Like even like a mother, when I am my children are studying on systems or laptop, I'm connecting my system to my smart TV via Bluetooth to just ease out the pressure on their eyes so that they're seeing something on a bigger screen and it is not impacting their eyes. So I think that is innovation, making things easy, applying common sense. I think that's what innovation is all about.
Nice. Got nice inputs from everybody.
Sir,
And
like-
let
like-
me ask just, is a speaker, a normal speaker, invention or innovation? A speaker
Sir,
which
can I, sir,
you-
can I say something, sir?
Sorry?
Sir, can I say something?
Yeah, definitely.
Sir, I think innovation, it means adapting yourself to the change.
What kind of change?
Sir, as we are currently going through the pandemic, we we had to switch to the online teaching learning platform. So
Nice, nice. Momita says on Twitter, innovation is finding ways to simplify our lives. That is correct. That is our end goal, to make our life easier and reduce the time on everything. All right. So coming back to my question, is speaker invention or innovation? Music comes out of it. Just give me on hashtag KMC, is speaker innovation or invention? So let me tell you, till the time you write all your answers. So I urge the faculties and who is responsible for social media to let's activate our social medias of KMC to the fullest. So at the end of the day, I want hashtag KMC to be trending. So for that, I need at least 3,000 to 4,000 tweets on that. So if let's say we are how many people right now? We are 150 participants and everybody participates 2 or 3 times. So that is easily 300, 400 tweets. So if we can just get it along with all the speakers. So at the end of sessions, we'll have KMC trending on Twitter and everybody will be like, oh, what is happening? Can't we do that?
Sir, I have just created a Twitter account. I have absolutely no idea of how to.
All right, can anybody guide her? Like if you guys are nearby?
Yeah, actually, I have just made a tweet on this KMC, and now I don't know, like, if you are getting this. Speaker is
You have
not.
to add. You have to add hashtag KMC. Like
Yeah,
hashtag.
I have added KMC hashtag KMC, but then it seems that there's something. There's some different hashtag of KMC is going
I'll
on.
help you.
So please check.
See if you can click on hashtag KMC. So all the tweets from hashtag KMC.
You may
like,
check. You may check. I just have tweeted in my
all right.
name.
Anybody
Sanjeev
on
Talwar.
personally can help him? All right. So what is a speaker? Speaker is invention or innovation. Mr. Sanjeev Talwar says speaker is not innovation, is one way of communication. All right. But that was not my question. So is it invention? Is it innovation? Okay. Was light bulb invention, discovery, or innovation? Mr. Thomas Edison, like, got it off.
Invention.
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 Similarly, the speaker is invention. Like, you get something, the sounds come out of a box, so it's an invention. If a speakers do what you say, it's an innovation. Like Alexa, everybody has in their home, so that is innovation. Correct. So we're going to be talking about innovation in education. Like, so we'll come to innovation part later. Let's talk about education for a while, right? So I think in the recent years, the education has taken a hit. So you guys will agree on that. Like, the budget on the education has been cut tremendously, if you guys are aware of it. So this is a little on what I have put it down. So from 2014 to 2019, so it's down by almost 0.1% of GDP. That is tremendous cut. But given that India is a young country, the major population of India is young, and we can tap on that. What do you think, like from 2014 to 2020, how many babies we must have born, right? Any guesses? 1 crore, 10 crore, 20 crore, like it'll be in the same bandwidth. But has the education came par with that? I don't think so. Let's not get into why it happened, because we cannot control it, right? Politically speaking, so we need budget in defenses and anything like that. But innovation in education, how can you, with the given resources as a faculty, can use your resources to the fullest so that you can get everything out of the students? Let's take an example of the Indian education system. So I think, let's talk about cars, right? Let's talk about Ferraris. 20 years before, the way you have seen the cars, 20 years down the line, we have innovated, we have invented new things. You take anything, we were talking about speakers, right? The speakers have changed, you just give the command and speakers says back to you. But what your grandfather or grandfather must have received the education, like it's the same. Blackboard, whiteboards, the children are sitting. At max, we have smart boards, right? But nothing major have changed in it. Why? That is a very peculiar question. Like, why? And I think as a faculty, you are responsible for children's future, right? What you teach today, the results come out like 15 to 20 years later. So you should ask why in everything. I think our education system is wrong. Right? If a child passes 12th standard, so he needs to be trained in a different way when it comes to college. Like when he or she comes to college, like everything in the school, it's just blown away. It's a different world, right? And once a student passes a college, be it IIT, be it Delhi University, be it Indraprastha University, he or she needs to be trained again to get into the corporate field. So I ask you, why? Why can't we just make our children and students like Ferraris, right? So just imagine Ferraris coming to India and they are saying, okay, sir, okay, you can buy a 2 crore car, but you need to change the suspension according to the Indian road so that you don't bump it out, right? It doesn't work that way. So same should be with the students, right? So the college should be the schooling. What we do in the college should be in the school, right? A child should have a choice. If I want to go into creative field, I should have a choice in it, right? And coming to the college point of view, I think after a child passes out from the college, he or she needs to be trained to get into the corporate world. he or she is not ready. So according to a government estimate, 33% of MBAs in India, I'm saying it again, 33% of MBAs in India are employable. Now guess out of 33%, how many get the top jobs and how many get low bottom jobs, right? And given that they have to be trained for another 3 months, 2 months or 1 month to get accustomed to the job, right? So in my opinion, it's your responsibility, right? Okay, I get it. You have to spend some lectures on the given curriculum, right? But I think it should be 50%. The curriculum which is given to everybody, every one of you, should be 50%. And the 50% should be live events, like it should be real time. Okay, so I have a very amazing example. So 2 days before I was preparing this presentation, I had a word with sir, like which is the like most common work in business and entrepreneurship. So I did some little research, and you guys must be aware about Business Management by Dr. C.B. Gupta, right? It's published by Dr. Sultan Chand and Sons. Sorry, Sultan Chand and Sons, right? What do you think? This book, when was it printed? Any guesses? When was Business Management by Dr. C.B. Gupta printed, the newest edition? Like
maybe in 1970, 80, I think. 30, 50 years ago.
Oh my God, those are very archaic numbers. So if you can just give me on hashtag KMC, quick hashtag KMC, what do you think? You can Google, you can do anything. Just when was this book written? I should say. And it is very common book. You can use Google, you can use anything. I bet you cannot get answers from that. "1990" says Mr. Rajat Khera. All right, fine. Anybody else? Good guess? When was the last time Business Management book might be edited? Like you can say that way. Any guesses? I think everybody is busy doing Google, right? All right. So I get the answer. I went to the stationery shop because I don't have the book, and you'll be surprised. It was revised in 2018, and it was written. It's little, I think, got the wrong marker. It was the first edition was printed in 2006, and the revised edition means like little hanky-panky changes, nothing great. What do you think? A student is coming to university, a top-notch university, and he expects, all right, I'm doing this entrepreneurship course and I'm ready to take on the world. And he starts up, like let's say he passed out in 2019, and he was like, no, I'm ready. I'll not do some corporates, do this. And suddenly COVID happens. So do you think, will he be able to adjust it in the first shock? Or rather say, out of 100 students which got out, did they have any knowledge how to deal with it? I don't think so. Or the students which are currently studying, do they have any knowledge how to handle this? I don't think so. So that is the reason I think 50% of the syllabus should be off the hook, should be real time. Like we have this amazing talent pool in India. Like India is a young country. It's sitting idle in the COVID. Why can't we use those talent pool to solve creative problems, to solve the problems which are mingling in the country? Why should these 2 IAS or 2 IPS officers sitting above us and like, no, this should happen this way, right? As a students, as a university, I think it's our responsibility to tap on that. No, let's just imagine, right? So the COVID happens, and like for 6 months or 4 months, the students were laying idle. They didn't have any knowledge like what to do, and they were just wasting time in taking calories and like having Netflix and doing those stuff. Why can't we just channelize their energy? Like, okay, what can be the solution? Why can't we just brainstorm, and why can't we just take out with the solution and give it to the government, and like, boom, here you have it. At least creativity is going somewhere. Like we are young blood, we are hungry. But once we get into the education system, I think it makes us dull. So I'm not saying the whole education is like the evil, right? But just imagine, like when you got into the college, you had such an enthusiasm, but then you got inside this big burden of books, of examination, of this curriculum, and you, like, after a year you were lost. So this gentleman, Dr. Albert, so he invented vitamin C, which is like very necessary for COVID-19, if you guys don't know, right? So innovation is seeking what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. I think somebody quoted this in the hashtags also, right? That's just beautiful explanation of what innovation is, right? And let's say, all right, let's keep everything apart. Let's throw education out of for a while. Okay, so Ishad Ahmad says it's not visible on screen. So can you see my screen, everybody?
Yes, your screen is visible.
All right, fine. So I want your opinions again. Please just give me on hashtag KMC.
Yes.
Like, what do you think? What should be the deciding factor that the country is innovative? Country as a whole should be innovative. How do we judge that? How do we say India is more innovative than Pakistan or US is more innovative? Like, there have to be some measure. So I want everybody's opinion again. Hashtag KMC. Don't hesitate. So I'll tell you why I am just going Twitter and hashtag. I'm going nuts over it. At the end of the session, you will be able to understand. Oh, there's a motive behind it. Everybody, please, on your phones, hashtag KMC. What do you think, according to you, is a deciding factor? How do we decide like, we are more innovative than Bangladesh? Anything, quick. And one more thing, like apart from the session, so I just treat me as a friend, like we are having a communication. I want everybody's engagement on things, right? So please don't shy away. All right, to Mr. Rajat Gera is very active here. Number of patents commercialized, or number of startups. All right. But that is nice, but don't you think with the increase in population, the number of startups will increase? I doubt it, right? Anybody else? We don't have very active members here. All right.
Yes, sir, we are active.
So please just put me a tweet, hashtag KMC. What do you think? How we judge a country to be innovative? Maybe, okay, I'll give you some hints. Maybe we have top-notch rankings of colleges, or
it depends upon the number of patents done by a country.
All right, that's a nice take, or your take on it. So
Sir, 1 minute, sir. Sir, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Papapriya from Chennai. Actually, I'm putting it hashtag KMC, but it's showing KMC with some other symbols also. You have any suffix in it or only KMC, sir?
Only hashtag KMC, nothing.
Okay,
KMC or KMC Atal?
Only KMC, hashtag KMC. Okay, I'm putting it in the chat so you can copy it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anybody has problem in Twitter? I'm like shocked. Like we don't use Twitter that often here. Okay. Mr. Naseem saying by responding to the changes quickly. All right. So how do you measure it? Like there have to be some measuring tool. All right. Mr. Sarat says the rate of human development over a period of time. So how do we quantify human development? There have to be some measure, like
Human Development Index.
all
Human
right.
Development Index is
Yeah, I agree. This can be one of the motive. But human development, do you think it is related to innovation or just well-being or availability of resources to the population? Or Mr. Aisha Bain says school level discoveries encouraged. Okay. So I think I don't know of any chart or which says this school has discovered so many things, but I think we can work on that. Meryl Albert de Cruz says if we create more things that are user friendly, right? But how do you quantify across the whole India? How do you quantify? Okay, so there's this chat from Nile Library. Our government says Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Anusandhan based on innovation. All right, so I think I'm not aware of this policy. All right, so I think you will agree that if we say that Nobel Prizes on the whole, Nobel Prizes can be the basis of innovation of any country. Right? Do you guys agree?
No,
Like,
sir.
let's just say,
No.
and why, Mr. Sandesh?
Sir, because a single prize in a single field can't decide the innovation level in the entire country.
No, so
Can't
Nobel Prize
generalize, sir.
can be in any field, right? I'm not saying in particular field, right? So it
Sir,
can be
sir,
literature.
sir, for a
Yeah.
minute, sir. If you go through the history of Nobel Prizes, then you will see that there are some countries which have a dominance in earning and winning the Nobel Prizes. That doesn't mean the entire world is means backward in innovation, sir.
What is how do you get Nobel Prize? So let's have good discussion. Like how somebody gets Nobel Prize, Mr. Sandesh?
Sir, the criteria of Nobel Prize is because we have several categories. If you come to the scientific discoveries, then we have something like what if we are going a special invention or a special discovery or a special exploration in the field of science, which is beneficial for the humanity in present scenario and future, sir.
So correct. So how can you say it is biased? Like Indians cannot invent anything, and
No, no,
maybe
no, no, sir.
the
It is
US.
your point. It is your point that we are not having Nobel Prizes, so we are backward in innovation.
No, I never pointed out we are backward in innovation. So I was just having discussion. Can Nobel Prizes be put in like, okay, so you get a Nobel Prize, you excelled in the field, and you have done amazing for this earth, right?
Sir, if you go through the history of a DU, JNU, and Jamia Millia Islamia, then you will find several scholars, several professors, several faculty members have shown their level at the international level in the field of their respective disciplines and other discoveries, sir.
All right.
So, so prizes can't be a criteria to judge a country is innovative or not, sir.
So do you think Nobel Prizes are biased, or they are just like you can just put away the money and you buy it? What's your opinion on that?
They are not biased, sir. Sometimes what happens that a single country cannot engage in one aspect. If one country is leading in scientific discoveries, then it may be possible that the other country is leading in some other aspect.
Yeah, right. So that's correct.
That's the point, sir.
So okay, I'll just summarize. Like, okay, let me rephrase. Right. Okay. So if we excel in a field, we'll innovate and we'll put up more discoveries. So on a nutshell, let's see how many people from India have gotten Nobel Prize since the independence. Okay. So India has 4 Nobel Prizes since the independent India 1947 to 2019. And Germany, give or take, has 108 Nobel Prizes. And why do you think, I mean, why can't we do better? Right. So I think everything starts from the basics. Everything starts from the education system. Everything starts with the environment. Everything starts with the ecosystem which we provide to our students, to our young learners. Right? You guys will agree with it. There will be no disparity in that. So why we say, okay, the Facebook, the Twitter, these startups are from Silicon Valley. Why? Because they have this system of nurturing. Their government, they incubate, they promote. But that's not the case in India. Okay, right now we are encouraging. That's nice efforts. But what do you think if anybody random middle class who doesn't have anything, who's just out of college, what do you think are the chances of him getting incubated in one of the good incubation centers or startups gives money, right? Very less, unless you are exceptional, correct?
Sir, can I make a point?
Yes, sir.
Our economy is, I think, 90% informal. And if you say most of our contribution is by basically micro entrepreneurs. So we are talking more of that formal technology-based entrepreneurship, whereas India is a country of informal micro entrepreneurs, the millions of shopkeepers and the millions of other kind of women entrepreneurs who have started new business like Gram Udyog and spices. Actually, we compare ourselves with developed, whereas we are very different from developed country, and there's a lot of research to prove that.
Yeah, I agree.
That is where we make the whole the problem is. Ours is a lot of, if you see, there is one Mr. Gupta in IIM Ahmedabad who has started a program of commercializing long tail innovations in India, which happen in rural India. Now, what we are looking at is major innovations, like innovations in which drive big business. Whereas in India, most of the innovation which is not even recorded, actually, if you look at it. And they don't win Nobel Prize. But India is a country which has of jugaad, and it has given this lean lean innovation, and
that's what I was coming to.
Things. So we are not a country which can compare with Nobel Prize and published innovation.
So what do you think, taking your point forward, I agree with it. Like, till how much time do you think we'll be unorganized? So don't you think there is a need to get organized?
I think economy is becoming unorganized. If you see with COVID, we are talking of gig economy nowadays. So do you think that with digital technology, do you need a formal organization structure? If I want to get some work done today, do I really need to hire anybody for on a time-based basis or on a pay as you go? You give me output. That is what the whole computer industry is restructuring. If you see 80% nowadays, the projects and all which are being given or internships, they are all work from home and they are project based. They are not hiring people nowadays. So we are moving to a different structure.
I agree. I agree with you.
You see,
तुम कल से चले हुए हो यार, कहाँ पे हो? मतलब कहाँ कल से चले हुए हो ना तुम?
Momita Mitra says we sometimes need the strength or support that might get.
6 बजे तक आ जाओगे?
So I request Professor Manoj Sharma to mute his mic, please. Thank you. Okay, so Momita Mitra says we sometimes need the strength or support that might get missing sometimes, right? Therefore, the progress might get a bit slow. So we are an emerging country, right? So if you are aware that we skipped the whole industrial revolution part of it. After we got independent, we were farmers' country, right? I think more than 90% were farmers. And jumping from one revolution, the next should have been the industrial revolution. So in the 90s or 2000s, we jumped directly to IT revolution. So if you can think a little bit about it, like if we would have industrial revolution, we would have more jobs. That answers so many questions. We jumped from one revolution to another. If you see any developed country, right? So I'm going again on contrary to the argument. If you see the developed countries, they had this revolutions, but we were behind, right? So, all right. So coming back to our topic, innovation in education. So I think this storytelling is a very, very powerful tool. So I think we had this session before with some other speaker. Can anybody confirm me with this?
Yeah, Praveen, sir.
On 26th of October.
All right. So I was not aware. All right. So I'll cover it again. So I think you will find this my
He
inputs.
said it would be fun storytelling.
Oh, thank you. All right. So, okay. So you guys are aware of storytelling. Let's have your inputs on hashtag KMC. One worded response. Storytelling, how it is important. Please, everybody, get on Twitter and with hashtag KMC. You guys had a session, so I think you guys are more aware than me. So let's have your opinion. Storytelling, what do you think? Is it good? Is it bad? Just it can be one worded. It's fine. Oh, we use it every day. On hashtag KMC, I request every professor and every scholar to please go, and I'll tell you later why I'm doing this. Hashtag KMC. So I'll put the hashtag again on the chat box. All right. So Kaushik Das says anyone can help. I have created a new Twitter account. Just don't do anything. Okay, I just give you one demonstration. On your home screen, you have to click on this feather. When you click on the feather, so I say, okay, storytelling is amazing. And at the end of it, I think you can see, just put hashtag KMC. So now, if you click hashtag KMC, you can see all the tweets from anybody in the world who have used this hashtag KMC. I think it is clear, Mr. Manu KS. Why don't we don't know the procedure where to use this KMC? Okay, I think I have explained this. So you can take somebody's help. Okay, so Rajat Gera again says it's creative. Very nice. Manoj Sharma says good KMC. Okay. Storytelling is very important because it motivates and inspires. Oh, this is nice. Says Momeda. It engages the audience and brings memory. Oh man, I think you've got all the things covered which I was about to say. Storytelling. Dr. A. Sultan says recognition for ideas in international forums. Okay. Storytelling makes sessions more interesting. Oh, I agree. Okay. Storytelling is a magical experience for the learners. It grabs their attention, forces them to the concept, and leaves them with a lifelong learning. Nice. This is Marilyn Albert de Cruz. Miss Shivani says, storytelling makes the conversation engaging. You guys have everything which I was about to say. All right, so I'll get into more details. So let me see. Please stay with me. So I'll give you an example. Right? Why storytelling should be incorporated, be you from physics, be you from entrepreneurship or arts or design. Storytelling should be the main focus. Do you remember the last time or the first time you fell in love? There's something about it, right? There's a saying, you can forget everything, but you cannot forget your first love. Why? Because when you fall in love, you release a number of hormones in your body. So dopamine, serotonin, endorphin. It just hijacks your cortex in the brain, and for a good part of the year, you just forget being rational, right? I think most of you are married, and 6 months is your 1 year. 6 months or 1 year of the marriage is golden period. So we believe in the storytelling. We believe in there's a disturbance. Jayshree Kadam, can you please mute your mic? Jayshree Kadam, ma'am, can you please? Oh, thank you. Right. Where were we? So when you fall in love, so there is a number of hormones that get inside your body. Like you just forget you're being rational. Your cortex is hijacked, literally hijacked for a year to make rational thinking, right? Let's say you fall in love, or this first day of your marriage, you say, "Ah, that's nice how you drink coffee. It's interesting. Oh, it's so sweet," right? 1 year or 13 months down the line. So I think it takes exactly 13 months to just get you out of love. You're in love. You say you're sitting in the table and you're watching TV, and it's like the same person is doing the same thing, and you're like, stop it, right? Why? Because you have become rational. And the same thing can happen with the storytelling. The hormones which get released when you are in love gets released when you are telling a good story. Don't you guys agree?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'll show you a great example, right? So I was curious. So like me, so there's this gentleman, Mr. Rob Walker. So he's a journalist and he's an author. So he wanted to find out the true power of storytelling. So he went on eBay and he bought 200 items, inexpensive items, right? And he asked all his 200 author friends to write a story about it. And he also wrote a story. And guess what? He went back to eBay with the same amount of materials he has bought, and they sold it for the record price. So they bought the 200 items for $160, and they sold it, the same items, but what was the twist? There was a story attached to it. For example, so Mr. Rob Walker, so there's this horse, right? So he bought it for 99 cents. He bought this for 99 cents. And after a week, he added a beautiful story around it. Why it is important, why it is significant. And the same piece was sold on eBay after a week for $63. Isn't that amazing? The power of storytelling. All the ads you see, I mean, you get on the top most watched ads, the marketing, the brands, with their brands are successful, which tells a good story, right? So why you say the story is important, right? Why can't we just say, okay, I'm getting this on PPT and like shoot at everybody? 1 lakh years ago, so we started communicating with each other with small notes. 27,000 years ago, we started engraving in the caves to pass the knowledge to the next generation. 3,500 years ago, we started writing transcripts in Hinduism, and apart from India and everywhere in the world. But 28 years ago, we got this amazing PPT, which I think most of us is focused on, right? That's the power of storytelling. So there are 4 golden principles, according to me. You guys might argue with, but I think these 4 principles should be there in every teacher, in every marketing, in every brand, talk about in every product to make it successful. Empathy. I mean, guys, what is empathy in a nutshell? Can anyone just come up and say, just unmute your mic and say, what is empathy?
Coming into the shoes of others.
Yes, you feel what the opposite person is feeling, right? It is like mirroring. So this should be there in every teacher. Let me show you, like you guys must be aware, the Maggie, there was some feud with FSSAI. There was MSG, higher level of MSG. So it destroyed N amount of the Maggie packets. And guess it must be so hard for the branding campaign manager to get it back, to get the ads on. So let's see what the Maggie relaunch campaign was. So it touches the great part of empathy.
जब मैगी पर सवाल उठे टीवी पे, अखबारों में, आस पड़ोस में, तो मुझे लगा ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? मेरी माँ ने तो मुझे बचपन से मैगी खिलाई है। मैंने भी खिलाई अपने बच्चों को। तो दोनों में गलत थी। फिर पता चला कि हर टेस्ट में यही निकला है, सब ठीक है हमारी मैगी में। अच्छा लगा, मैं और मेरी माँ दोनों सही थे।
And I think we forgot what was wrong with the Maggie. And I should tell you, it still has the same MSG levels. So there was, being from the food background, so there was some hanky-panky stuff. Wait, where is my PPT? Right. Okay, so Dr. Y.S. Sarita Kumari says, no video. Can't you see any video, guys? Did you see any video?
So you have to share the screen again and then like just start the
No,
video.
it was no video, only audio was there.
Okay.
Because start the video first on your screen and then share the screen.
Okay, so I'll stop. Okay, I'll do it again.
जब मैगी पर सवाल उठे,
Is it audible now?
Yes, yes.
All right. I'll play it again for you.
जब मैगी पर सवाल उठे, टीवी पे, अखबारों में, आस पड़ोस में, तो मुझे लगा ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है। मेरी माँ ने तो मुझे बचपन से मैगी खिलाई है और मैंने भी खिलाई अपने बच्चों को, तो दो माएँ गलत थी। फिर पता चला कि हर टेस्ट में यही निकला है, सब ठीक है हमारी मैगी में। अच्छा लगा, मैं और मेरी माँ दोनों सही थे।
That's such a beautiful ad. You can feel like they strategically put a mother's mother into it, right? Everybody can feel it. Let me stop again. All right. So empathy, it's very great tool, and the parents, the teachers, as well as the students should have it, right? So get it in your teaching, right? And you have to engage. So what I am doing with hashtag KMC, I am engaging every one of you. I am creating a digital footprint. Like, okay, so there is KMC present. So, and we are talking about n number of stuff. You have to engage your students. So there's this school in Singapore, NG and School, secondary school, Singapore. So they teach from 12 years to 18 years of age. So they have this wonderful way of teaching. Like we haven't thought about it. So this Twitter idea came from there. So what they do, they know everybody nowadays are distracted on Facebook. I think most of you might be on Facebook and Twitter. Oh, ye kya kar raha hai banda, right? So why can't we just make their distraction in our way and channelize the energy in our benefit and both the benefits, right? So let's see what this is all about. Can you hear it?
So again, first you discontinue with your sharing screen and then redo it.
All right. Now I think it'll be good. So it's a 7 minutes documentary, and let's see.
I think it is important to make school fun. And when school is fun, you don't get kids waking up in the morning and say, do I have to come to school again? So we embrace technology because it helps us make learning more engaging. I believe that when kids are engaged, when kids are interested, that's where learning takes place.
The kids are really from a very different world now.
And really to reach out to the kids, you need to be savvy with technology. If you're not savvy with technology, you're going to lose the kids in the school.
What you want to do right now is, think of the Socratic questions.
Ngee Ann Secondary School is a typical school in Singapore where we take in students with different academic abilities, and we have about 1,512 students in this school, and they all come from the neighborhood. We get students from the age of 13 to about 16. Many students want to come to this school because of its strong program, especially in the use of ICT, Infocom technology. And the teachers here are known to produce very good teaching materials and very innovative teaching ideas to engage the students in the classrooms.
In the early 1990s, the teachers really are the monopoly of knowledge, and they are the one that comes to the class to deliver that knowledge so that the students can acquire them. But today, knowledge is no more a monopoly among the teachers, because students can get knowledge from a myriad of sources. And hence, the role of the teacher today is facilitation. That means facilitate students where they could get the right knowledge, how they could synthesize them, how they could discern the information that they get.
Velocity is defined as the rate of change of distance with time. Is it true or false? So I want you to tweet me your answer. So this is how you tweet. This is the format that you need to tweet. So you put in @ vote by tweet 1.
We look at technology very meaningfully, and we see how can we leverage this technology to make a very significant impact in the classroom instruction. I'll give you an example. In a classroom of 40, it is really impossible to get 40 students to ask 40 questions at one go. When we use the instant messaging tool, we open 40 windows to 40 kids. They could ask 40 questions at the same time, and the teacher could see their thinking on the technology tool that they use. And kids get more excited because they are using the tools that they are very, very good in using, not just the pen and the pencil.
Okay, so same thing, we will have 2 students to every terminal. If you have any issues with the terminals, raise your hand and I'll come to you. Okay? Now, let's go. What the students are doing is they are currently exploring this Second Life art gallery, which the school has set up. Okay, and the works that are shown in this gallery is actually made up of local works that have been done by local artists. First of all, the online platform is very, very useful because it's something that really engages the students. They will be chatting with one another, about the works using the elements of art, principles of design, as well as reading other students' comments as well. If they would like to, they can actually leave notes for other students to read.
Web 2.0 world with Wiki, with your Facebook, your blogs, you find that, that it's a very participatory culture. It calls for a lot of collaboration. They no longer become just a consumer of knowledge. They actually produce knowledge.
What are the important things that you have discovered so far?
The election and the tendency to lose their
I find that students themselves are often on Facebook. So instead of looking at them, looking at Facebook as a distraction, I would rather use it to engage them. They even, like when they're stuck with certain question, they post up the question to the class, and you see responses, and they are learning from each other, which I think it's better because there's more motivation, intrinsic motivation for them to learn, rather than, okay, I tell you to do this and I tell you to do that.
I would say that the teachers in this school, myself included, we scan the globe for best practices.
Now, to follow that URL, it will lead you to a Google form. Okay? Using that Google form, I want you to key down some of the things that will help you.
We are in the process of watching a model lesson that's being run by my colleague here,
And the whole process of us watching the lesson is to gain some kind of points from her lesson, and also to provide our feedback. We discuss it to come up with a better lesson, because definitely learning grows with sharing and communication, and there's definitely scope for improvement for any lesson.
All right, first of all, I understand that the purpose of this Skype session, we want to confirm the suitability of the pretest. Is this the common agenda that we have?
Yes, the common agenda.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay. Maybe we can think about is if we give it to the children as is, some of them might actually come up with the idea of the steepness of the slope.
There's always something new to learn. You're never at a standstill. You're always moving ahead, pushing boundaries, trying to discover new things, new ways of teaching. So it's exciting, because even if the pedagogy is sound, there's always a technology that's always challenging us, and we always have to find new ways to connect with the kids and to challenge them.
So I think we do look at how the world has changed, and teaching cannot stay stagnant. So the teachers recognize the fact that they cannot teach the same way they were taught 10, 20 years ago, that they have to be very adaptive in their methods. And when they do that well, they know they are going to engage the kids. And when you engage the kids, that is where real learning takes place.
That's rightly said. The role of teacher has just remained to facilitation, right? So students, they know everything, right? Let me put the slides on.
Okay. So this is Nidhi Yadav, this side. This type of technology we need right now. And most of these schools are using technology part, but still we are very much far away with this technology. And I think the government needs to take some initiative to start this technology part in the private school or in the government school also. I agree with your idea with this. Like, I have a daughter, she's 7-year-old. When online class was started, she was very excited that I will learn through computer. So yes. I think the technology has a most important part in our life nowadays.
I agree. Let's just find a solution to it, right? In life manner. What we can do? Right, most of our India comes in the rural or agricultural. Right, let's find solution right here. Let's do this question and answer. What we can do? I think right now most of us Indians they have smartphone. It has a camera, it has a microphone, and it has a basic memory. Let's say if we go for 5,000 to 6,000 rupees phone.
Right. But most of the parents are scared, like screen timing is very much for the children and it's not good for the eyes. And like most like coding is there for children's 6 year to 12 years and 14 years child are doing coding classes like Whitehead HR, Junior JR. And now QMath is also starting a coding classes.
Whitehead Junior has been asked to pull out their 4 ads, which says if you go to coding and it will brighten up your child. Is anybody aware? It's today's news.
I have one session with Whitehead HR, but I think like for a 6 or 7-year-old, it's not very much useful. I think I have more engaged with my child than my child is engaged with the laptop.
I agree. Let's say, okay. So I'm jumping on 2-3 slides. Has anyone heard about MOOCs platform, MOOC?
Yeah.
MOOCs platform is has everybody is aware what MOOCs platform is, what edX is.
Mass online open course, something like that, no?
Yes, exactly. So here it's 2. So what they have done, right? In a nutshell, they have put the teacher in a studio and they have recorded the sessions. Like let's suppose say I am teaching entrepreneurship and I have 6 chapters and I have just recorded my video. Like most of the sessions, most of the classes, I think they go on fundamentals. You have to teach every class the same thing. I think 80% of the time, not exactly 100% of the time. So why can't we just record you, record your form, and just put it out everywhere? Put it out in rural India. Put it out anywhere in the world. Like, don't you think it is very good, very groundbreaking technology? Earlier, there were colleges like the MIT, the Harvard, all the IIMs, IITs. They are on MOOCs platform, right? They offer the same courses. So okay, so I did young leadership program from IIM Bangalore. The same program was available on edX.org. So there's the link in down the slide. So if you click on it, so it just opens up the whole opportunity, right? Anybody, anywhere in the world can do it. So like 4-5 months down the line, so Dr. Pushpendra came to my shop. Okay, by the way, I have dairy products shop in the East Delhi and we are in the expanding mode. So I'll have to tell you, but later. So we were talking. So why can't we have MOOCs like platform in our university, right? It's not that expensive, but the outreach is amazing. So now I'm going to talk about the innovation or the inventions which are going to rule the future. And mind you guys, you have to get on it ASAP. Like some of you were not on Twitter. Like it's not a shameful thing, but you have to be adaptive, right? You have to be not resilient to change. You have to do what your kids are doing, or you will be outlawed. You will be like, okay, you are old. I don't know. All right. So the 4 technologies, I think that should change the teaching. Like we talked about MOOCs, so we are sitting on MOOCs. So I urge everybody who don't know about MOOC, please go and please even subscribe to 2 or 3 of their courses. It's amazing. You will not get some certificate or accreditation, but you will get loads of knowledge. Like anybody from anywhere can learn. Fine. 3D printing, right? So we had this inkjet printers. Now we have machines which can print anything. Just imagine 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old kid going to arts class and like, okay, I want to build a giraffe today. I want to build an aeroplane today. Just imagine engineering classes. Just imagine physics classes. If you have 3D printer right down at your disposal, how best and how in a greater way you can teach the concepts, right? So now I've like heard about companies who are building affordable homes from 3D printing. How revolutionary it is. Second of all, let's talk about cloud technology. I mean, we are knowingly or unknowingly using it, right? I think most of you have Netflix or Amazon Prime subscriptions, so it's all on cloud, right? So let's say you record 2 or 3 of your sessions, right? And you just put it on your drive. And here's this website, you just put it out on free, right? Just let's say entrepreneurship chapter 1 by Falana is online. Everybody can just go and learn about things from the best teachers in the world. Why are we not doing it? Why anybody has to come to you, pull your hand and say, okay, Mr. This, you have to do this. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Why can't we just be proactive? You are in the top of the food chain. You are in such prestigious college. We have to be proactive. You have these inexpensive. What is cloud? You go to Google Drive. It is giving, I don't know how many GBs of uploading of memory for free. We have this amazing, groundbreaking things at our disposal, which we are not using. We cannot blame everything on the government. They cannot spoon feed you. Or they. Biometrics, like I think most of you in the college have the attendance of this like the thumb, right? I'm not sure if KMC has it yet or not, but most of the school does. Okay, so just imagine, right? So I think the future is online. You are seeing me here, or like 1 year before I was in the campus and I was giving this amazing lecture about entrepreneurship to students, right? Biometrics. Just imagine, so everybody of you is offline right now. Sorry, they don't have the camera on. If I have this technology on my MacBook Air, so I can see where is your attention level. What is your iris in the eye focusing on? Is it focusing on me? Is it focusing on your mobile phone? Is it focusing on everything? We can track it in the students, like what they are doing. So I think this will be a very big technology, and it's gonna be inexpensive. The technology which is expensive, it will slowly die out. And mind it, the technology which is expensive today, 5 years down the line, it will be cheap as a penny. And let's talk about holograms. So we are not aware of it. So it's very high tech and it's still in development. But I think this is the future, right? I am speaking in this 5-inch, 6-inch, 11-inch screen in your phones and in your tablets or in your laptop. Just imagine, right? You can just turn your camera and a smaller version of Amrit just pops it and just I am speaking live to you. Just imagine how powerful and how groundbreaking tool it will be. So I have this small video. I think we have time. So let me just show you and you'll be amazed where we are living. Just give me a moment.
A hologram of
So please play the video and share. Yes.
Yes.
Michael Jackson.
Okay, so can you guess, is it real Michael Jackson or not? So this was the live concert after his death. After he died 5 years ago, this was the live concert. Can you imagine the technology? And do you know Mr. Narendra Modi has done some rallies which we don't know were based on hologram. He was not actually there, but he was there. Let's see what it is.
Appeared and performed last night at the Billboard Music Awards, almost 5 years after the singer's death. But while this might look like the future of posthumous performances, the trick itself is actually about 5 centuries old. The projection of Jackson materialized on a golden throne before launching into performance of Slave to the Rhythm. There was moonwalking, there were taped fingers, there was dancing paramilitary cyborgs because. Jackson's appearance is just another in a series of musicians, both living and dead, who have had their images projected on stage for live performances. The most famous example is perhaps Tupac Shakur from 2012's Coachella Music Festival. The likeness was created by Visual Effects Studio's digital domain, which reportedly took 4 months to create the projection of the rapper at a cost of up to $400,000. And this past April, Janelle Monáe and MIA performed a live duet from both New York and Los Angeles, with each singing alongside a 3D projection of the other. But it's not just musicians. Recently elected Indian Prime Minister Modi used it to make appearances at hundreds of campaign rallies across the country. And it's not actually a hologram, not in the way we picture in science fiction like Star Wars. The technique is called Pepper's Ghost and dates back to the 16th century. So while the illusion is not a new invention, the advent of lifelike CGI has only recently allowed us to resurrect celebrities and musicians. So, did it work? Reactions so far have been mixed. The CGI hits up against the so-called uncanny valley, with Jackson's face looking obviously artificial up close. There's also some technical issues in the ABC broadcast that were later fixed for the official video on Vivo. It also begs the question, could someone actually make a pop star from scratch? Japan's Hatsune Miku is an entirely digital creation, voice and all, and yet she's played to sold-out crowds. And at the 2006 Grammy Awards, Madonna sang alongside entirely fictional act gorillas. So while the practice day is still rare enough to warrant shock and awe, it won't be long before you're paying top dollar to see your favorite musician or speaker, living, dead, or completely made up.
Just imagine Dr. Pushpendra sir is coming in the hologram and everybody's okay, the time is up and everything. I tell you. Technology is changing very fast, and I think we all should adopt to it, right? Where is my screen share? Correct. I mean, let's take one thing from the session. One thing, right? I request every one of you. Every one of you is very talented. Everyone you is expert in their fields. I just want you to go on Twitter or YouTube or Facebook and shoot a normal video of your live session with the class. Or okay, this is not possible right now. So, sitting at your home, the most difficult topic in your subject, and just shoot it, right? Just shoot it with the camera. Get your children to shoot it and just put it online for the students which don't have the privilege of tuitions, which don't have these kind of resources available. Let's just all get together and use what we have, you know, to make the change. Right? We don't have to be paid for everything, and teaching is the most noble profession. So on that note, so I am ending my session. So I think you guys have a different note of innovation and education as a whole. How you can do different things with it, right? So if anybody has any questions, so please feel.
So MOOC courses, are they available for free?
They are not available for free. You can take a trial, but at the end you have to pay if you want to get the exams, right? So let's say if you open edx.org and you can see some material, but if you want to see the whole material, so you have to pay nominal fees.
There is, there are courses by IIM Bangalore as well, but all are paid courses.
So Swayam courses are free.
Yes, Swayam is free. IMB is free if you don't want a certification.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like certificate is.
There are n number of platforms now coming up, and they are just providing this amazing. And I think MOOC is the future. Like they'll just don't take me wrong. 10 years or 15 years down the line, I don't think there'll be a need of teacher anymore. So you can just put it in. You can just sit in anywhere of the world and you can address your class. And the issues right now, which we have, like we have one participant which said, okay, the screen time was high. So we'll address it. The technology is for the people, by the people, right? If anybody have any questions.
Any other question?
It was a nice presentation. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. And there's my mail ID. If you want to shoot anything, if you want any content, I'll be there. And I hope I'm not well knowledgeable as you guys. I hope I was able to change your mindset. At least come on, at least come on to, right, and just share everything you have.
So one question from my side.
Yes, Niriyal.
Yeah, how we can implement this idea on your future? Like how we can implement it in India? Like we have so much of diversity in money level. So how we can implement?
All you need is a smartphone. Jio has made the data so inexpensive. For 399 rupees, you get 3 months of.
Yeah, but in villages, still we don't have Android, and तो हम उसको कैसे implement करेंगे? Like this is an.
Let's go step by step. Right? Let's start at least shooting videos and putting up online. What we can do, we have a nice question. What we can do, we can form a group of 10 and we can contribute and donate phones.
Yeah, like international schools are doing these things. Like they are implementing technologies to the children, but they are very expensive. But the tuition fees is very expensive. So like how this technology can be reached to everyone.
One more point which I missed was the education is getting expensive.
Yeah,
and
that is my first point.
Mother of a young child, and you cannot get admission in Delhi unless your child is a topper, or we know how much money it takes, right? So I was shocked if you want to get admission in modern school, how much I'll not say on the record. But it's
Even
getting
even my child is at home. I'm paying 15,000 per month. So this is this is
we are part of the system. See, I and you cannot.
yeah, that we have to change.
That's up to the let's say lobbyists and the groups to decide. And the role of me and you is how much resources we have, how much can we just utilize it to the fullest. Like there are some things we cannot help, but what change can you do? And I want each and every one of you who's listening, just at the end of the session or at the end of the day, just make one change.
Yeah, just tweet it.
Sorry.
Just tweet it.
I mean, just make one change. Like how? Just think about how you are the powerhouse. You are human beings. I mean, the noblest profession is being the teacher, right? How can you distribute it? Just forget everything, right? Just at least shoot one video. Shoot one video about one topic of your subject. Be it anything. Be it about this session. Right? Shoot one video and just post it online. And if you want to know about the hashtags where people can find you, it's very powerful tool, right? So let's say if we have 150 members, and I think how much tweet can anybody count? How much tweet we have on hashtag KMC? My screen is full. I cannot count. So I think this was a successful experience. So okay, so just for a small information, so I think it takes roughly 1,500 to 5,000 tweets to make a hashtag trending. So if you don't know what hashtag trending is, so if anybody opens out Twitter or PM Modi's opens up Twitter today and is like, okay, what is this hashtag KMC? So everybody will know we are having this session. Everybody will know what we are talking about. Everybody will be curious. That's how we spread our wings. We have everything. We have every tool available. We just have to use it. On that note, thank you, everyone. I hope I've been of any use or wasted over 1.5 hours. So my name is Amrit Juneja. Again, thank you very much.
How to search you on LinkedIn? Like I'm trying to find you.
Actually, I am not very much active on LinkedIn. So you can just drop me a mail because I am working 14 to 16 hours on my expansion right now. So I get this luxury very lately. But I'll make sure I am active on Instagram and LinkedIn, right?
Sir, can you drop your mail ID in the chat box, sir? We're not able to see in the presentation.
So it's Amrit. I'll put it in the chat box, right?
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Okay. Then on the behalf of all the participants, Kirodimal College and Atal FDP team, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to you, sir, for sparing your time to give this innovative talk. And I'm definitely sure we are going to incorporate your innovative ideas as well as use of digital technology in our teaching and learning processes. I again thank you so much for such a wonderful interactive session. Next, I would like to thank all the participants who joined us from various parts of the nation, without whom this session cannot be a success. Thanks a lot. Can I now request my team members to share the attendance link, please? Team members, please share the attendance link in the chat box so that we can mark our presence there.
Yeah.
Sure. And I request all the participants to join tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. sharp for the next session. Thank you all for being here with us.